Hello everyone, welcome to day 59 of Wild Writing in the Time of Corona. Thank you very much to those of you who've contributed so far to our workshops, particularly yesterday to those of you who really tried to see what difference using features to make sound effects really makes in your poems, and there was some very subtle usage yesterday. I thought it was very impressive and I hope you enjoyed doing them. Day 59 we're going to have as a day of opposites, where you will find the categories, the 6 categories, give you the choice of if you want to writing a complete, using them all in one poem, or if you wanted to, you could write possibly 3 separate poems with with the pairs of opposites. You could possibly go to haiku if you wanted. Those are just suggestions. So the categories are very vague and very obvious. I've not given such wide ones before, so I'm hoping that you will embrace those. So number 1 is the word white, and number 2 is the word black. Number 3 is the word day, and number 4 is the word night. Number 5 is the word near, and number 6, the word far. So white, black, day, night, near, far. So I think what you'll have to do is to choose your subject, and I think probably each of those can be manipulated into your subject. Or you can do it entirely randomly and just think of whatever the word white suggests and then black and all the way through and then piece them together. So there are some different approaches we could use in this one. Anyway, I'm going to let you get on with it and have your moment of being creative with just your paper and your pen, or however you do this. So I will be back shortly to share what I try to do. But in the meantime, I'm going to say, if you're ready, start. Welcome back. Hope you made something out of that. I'm sure you will have done, and I hope that you'll feel free to share it as well. So I will explain how I went about mine. Although I offered the suggestion of doing this as 3 separate poems, I chose not to. I had my mind quite full of a talk I'd listened to recently on the career of Elvis Presley before he became famous. And I was quite taken with some details from his life that came up in that talk that I didn't know. So when number 1 I had the word white, I put Elvis Presley down, not only because of his skin colour, but also because of, I remember a picture of him in a famous white kind of jumpsuit. Number 2, I chose the musician B.B. King for being black. The day, I imagined Elvis Presley alone in his room as he used to play his guitar when he was a teenager. Night, I imagined I was referring to the what were called whites only nights for people for white people in black clubs in Memphis. Near was the town that Presley was brought up in the early part of his life, Tupelo, which is near to Memphis, and far was the rest of the world. I deliberately didn't use the name in the poem at all, and for that reason I'm not going to give it as a title, and I didn't maybe want it to be obvious to a reader who it was about until the end. So it's not consciously poetic as perhaps yesterday's poem was, in that I didn't particularly use the same techniques as I used yesterday. I chose to write a poem, I'll just show you, of very, very short lines. It's kind of a long, thin poem. But that was quite deliberate, and I wanted it kind of to be in quite blunt statements. So here it is. Jessie came before him, dead to the world, his twin. Playing that old guitar alone in his room, he'd often think of him. In those days, Memphis felt like a dream away. From the streets of Tupelo, the rest of the world, a scene from a movie he never thought he'd know. He grew his hair, picked his guitar, knew he could make a difference to how things are, became the coolest cat in town. Later, he'd be called the king. "That's all right," rang through the night. "God damn, that boy can sing." I wanted to get a little bit of southern drawl into the end of it. Anyway, that's my poem about Elvis. I'll be very interested to read yours, and I'm looking forward to doing that and to making comments. And please feel free to comment on people's work, and particularly to like our page. I think that's always a real boost. So I shall say bye-bye for now, and I shall welcome you back tomorrow when, I can't quite believe this, but we will be up to day 60. So you take care and have a good day. Goodbye.